All right, so good day, everyone. So today we'll move on to another new section, which is about how to describe a person. And as I posted on the classroom or the classwork, you should check the two video clips online, which are about the things of how to describe a place. So here might be some adjectives you can use to describe a place and some of the questions you can think about before you want to describe a place. And also another video clip will be about how to describe an artwork. So here are also some of the adjectives you can use and also some of the questions you can think about before you start to describe a book or a movie, for instance. And also I give you some samples for you to check. So make sure you watch those two video clips online and to see how we can describe a person, or how to describe a place, or how to describe a book or a movie. All right. So there'll be things you can check online on our YouTube channel. And then we'll move on to how to describe a person. All right. So just like the previous two ones we have here. So if you want to describe a book or you want to describe a place, usually we'll think about what the place or what the book is about. So just like who is the person to you. And then you will tell why is the person chosen. So just like why you choose the book or why you choose the place as well. And then you talk about some more details about the person. For example, like what he do or what did he do, or like what did she do, for example, and where and when did he or she do it, and how is the person different from other people, just like why you choose this person in particular. So there'll be some questions you can think about. So for example, if you had a topic like this one, 描述一位足以成为榜样的朋友，第一段写出朋友的优点。So you'll try to use some details, some exact words like adjectives to describe what your friend looks like, all right, and or what he or she did. And then in the second part, you probably tell the best thing you have ever done with the person, right? So basically, you are going to describe a person. Here will be some questions you can think about before your description. So let's move on to some of the words, some of the adjectives we can use, especially for describing a person. So as we mentioned on the word list last week, we have some adjectives we can use to describe the ability of a person. So for example, there are words like average, brilliant, talented, foolish, hopeless, and sharp. So here, I would like you to read through the passage here and try to complete, sorry, it should be complete, and try to complete the two descriptions by using the correct words, all right? So I give you about 3 minutes to do so, so please take your time first. right, so probably here we can take a look together. So as you can see here, which is about like Sandra is our star student. So as you can see the keyword here, star student. So which means probably we are going to talk about something good about this person. So probably in this part, we'll use some adjectives which are more positive. So for example, she is always alert and what during lessons? What might be the answer we can have here? Alert and yeah, probably alert and sharp, right? So alert and sharp. 对，它是很敏捷的，或是很精明的。Okay, alert and sharp. First. Okay, alert and sharp during lessons. And the second thing will be she is a what pianist, and this term she won a prize in the school talent competition. So she's what kind of musician? What might be the adjective we can use for number 2? Yeah, probably we can use a word like brilliant. So she is a brilliant musician. A brilliant musician or a brilliant pianist. And then she won a prize in the competition. Our music teacher, Mrs. Long, thinks she is very good and should become a professional musician or professional pianist. So here for number 3, there should be she's very talented. All right, so she's very talented. And then on the other side, as you can see here, it says Joy, Sandra's best friend, is the opposite. So here we have been using some words which are quite positive. So probably here we're going to use some words which are negative. So she is a friendly person, but is a kind of student. So what might be the adjective we can put here for number 4? Yeah, probably can use the word average, right? So average 通常是说很平，就平均是 average。那可是通常用 average 来形容一个人，其实就已经非常的不好了，都很一般般的，很平均、很普通的。那就像我们之前有讲过，如果今天我们要说一个人长得没有很好看的话，我们通常最残忍的用字，我们就是用到 plain 那个字而已 ，plain。我真的也不会很直接讲哦 ，she is ugly, he's ugly， 或者就 she is quite plain or he's quite plain。那个字也就是非常的不好了。And she isn't particularly good or particularly bad. And some people think she is what because she doesn't say much in class. So what might be the words we use here for number 5? Yeah, part of the word foolish, right? Just like a fool. But basically, in our daily life, we have to avoid using these words because these words are really hurtful. And basically, we'll try to simply just avoid these words. Otherwise, it's just like you're bullying someone, which is not good. So, then the last one, I disagree, although I think she is what at sports. So for the last one, we should have, yeah, probably hopeless, right? 哦，它这个就很没望无望了。那通常我们也不会讲的这么的残忍，so probably just simply says probably she's not really that good at sports。哦，那这边的字通常我们呢，在写作文的话呢，because basically we'll try to describe a person in a positive way. So basically, these are the words we should avoid using unless you have some special purpose for that. Otherwise, basically, we try to use some positive words to describe a person, right? So that'll be roughly about this one. Then we'll move on to the next one we have here. So here is another section which is about how we can describe attitude towards work or study. So here I would also like you to read through the passage we have here and try to fill in the blanks with the correct words. Like the words we have here will be attentive, conscientious, and I have done the very first one for you already, and then enthusiastic, motivated, and reliable. So please try to fill in the blanks with the right words or with the correct words. So I'll give you about 2 minutes because this one is quite short. All right, so if you are done with the one we have here, please raise your hand. So we only have 12 raised hands. So probably maybe we can wait for a couple of minutes. All right, so probably we can take a look here together. So Danny is a hardworking and conscientious person, for example. So Danny is hardworking and conscientious, and he is what? And is very sharp. So what might be the adjective you'll put with the adjective sharp together? What might be the word you can choose or you can put here? Especially in class, in learning. Hardworking, conscientious, and he is what? And is very sharp. Would you like to make some guesses? Yeah, probably there'll be the word like attentive, right? So he is attentive and is very sharp. How we can use the word attentive here. And Danny is what and participates actively in class. So if someone participates actively in class, probably we can say he is quite. Yeah, probably we can also use attentive here, right? But probably here we can also try to use another word. Yeah, motivated would be good, but I don't think reliable will be used here because for the word reliable, I think it's more likely to be put here because always hands in his homework on time. So which shows like he's very reliable, responsible. So probably I'll put the word reliable here. 真可靠、很负责任 because he always hands in his assignment or his homework on time. And overall, I think probably he would say someone who is kind of motivated to learn. So that's why there'll be a pleasure to teach. So here probably we'll use a word like motivated. 很有动机, so that's why he will be very attentive and also participates actively in different kind of classes and also enhancing his assignment and homework on time as well. So overall, he's quite motivated. And here probably we can use the word like enthusiastic. 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 Okay, enthusiastic. So that's how we can use these kind of adjectives to describe someone's attitude towards work or study. And that will be the very first part we have here. And then we can move on to another part, which is about describing attitude towards life. So here I'll just simply discuss this one first together with you, and probably you can do the one for the following examples. So, like for attitude towards life, for example, here you can say, "My parents have very different attitudes towards life. My father is optimistic, and nothing seems to worry him. My mother is very pessimistic and always believes that the worst will happen." So as you can see here, we use the word optimistic to describe the father's life attitude, and we use pessimistic to describe the mother's life attitude. 哦，所以这个用来这些形容词，就是你在描述人跟描述景点或描述一个物品比较不一样的地方是说，你今天用这些形容词描述完了这个人之后，usually you will put one more sentence or one more clause or some phrases to describe why you think so or what makes you think so. So, for example, here it says, "My father is optimistic." And what do you mean by being optimistic? That's because like nothing seems to worry him. 所以你后面通常会有一个句子再去补充说明说，哎，为什么他觉得是 optimistic? That's because nothing seems to worry him. Similarly, here it says, "My mother is very pessimistic." And then what makes you feel that my mom is very pessimistic? That's because she always believes that the worst will happen. 哦，所以会用不同的方式去再补充一句或一个 phrases 或者是一个 clause 去补充说明说，哎，为什么你觉得它是 optimistic or why you think it is kind of pessimistic？ 哦，那像他这边他是直接讲了很多形容词，比方说 My father is calm and relaxed, but my mother is nervous and tense. 哦，所以用 calm 跟 relax 去形容爸爸 ，nervous 跟 tense 去形容妈妈。Then in the following, here we have a short story and probably an example to explain why we think so. 哦，所以接下来后面就是会有一个小故事或一个小情节，去告诉他为什么我觉得爸爸是 calm and relaxed, while my mom is nervous and tense. So in this case, it says like last month, when I caught the flu, my mother panicked and suggested that I should spend the night in hospital. However, my father just told me to get lots of sleep and drink lots of water. 所以他就用一个小故事再去解释为什么他觉得是 calm and relaxed, while mom is more nervous and tense. 所以就注意一下，你就可以用这种方式。通常在描述人的部分的话，我们通常这形容词讲完的话，比方说你讲一个很 optimistic，其实这样虽然我知道乐观这个字的意思，可是到底怎么样的方式让你觉得他很乐观？我们通常后面就会再多一个句子或一个部分去解释说，或去描述它，或举例为什么觉得是 optimistic and pessimistic, or why you think the person is calm and relaxed or nervous and tense. 所以大概会比其他在描述的东西的话多一些句子或一些 phrases 去描述为什么是觉得他是这么个性的人，为什么他有这些 features 或者这些 or this kind of characteristics. All right, so that will be for this one. So here, I'd like you to quickly read through the article we had here, and please pay attention to how the adjectives are used here to describe the attitude towards people. All right, so please take a look. All right, so probably we can invite someone to read the passage for us first. So let's start from the middle. Let's have Hong Kai. Would you read this one for us? My brother Albert.
My brother Alban is sociable and outgoing, but my sister uh, is quiet and reserved. Albert has lots of friends and enjoy being around them. He is open-minded and friendly. Don't seldom goes out and likes to keep everything to himself. We don't know when she is happy or when she is upset. Albert is well tempered and encourage encouraging too. He is easily annoyed and he is the type of person who can never wait in a
In the queen.
queue for very long. However,
Karen.
Albert is a very talented person and rarely loses her temper.
All right, lovely. And then we can take a look at this passage together as well. So as you can see here, or probably I'll just show you this one straightforward. So as you can see here, which is like my brother Albert is sociable and outgoing. So we use the one here in yellow, sociable and outgoing. These two adjectives to describe Albert. But my sister is quiet and reserved. So we use the one here in green, which is quiet and reserved to describe my sister Karen. 好，那这边他用完这两个形容词之后，你看后面相对的黄色部分就是在补充说明为什么 my brother is sociable and outgoing. And for the green part, there will be something for why my sister is quiet and reserved. So here it says Albert has lots of friends and enjoys being around them. So that's why we say Albert is sociable and outgoing, and also he's open-minded and friendly. So also here we had two other adjectives we use to describe Albert as well, like open-minded and also friendly. 那基本上这个也跟那个他很会交朋友这个部分其实还蛮类似的。所以他就用很多不同面向的形容词去形容他的哥哥 Albert, right? Then in the following, Karen seldom goes out and likes to keep everything to herself. So here will be more likely to be like Karen is quiet and reserved. 所以他后面 seldom goes out and likes to keep everything to herself. 其实也是在解释说明前为什么他是觉得 quiet and also reserved. And also one more sentence here, which is like, we don't know when she is happy or when she is upset. That's because she is quite reserved and quiet. So basically, we cannot tell her emotions. 可能她平常到底是开心还是难过，其实我们是看不太出来的，或比较是生气的，我们是看不出来的。So here it says, Albert is rather ill-tempered and impatient. So we use the word here, ill-tempered. 就是他脾气很暴躁、很不好的 ，and impatient 很没有耐心的。He is easily annoyed, and he's the type of person who can never wait in a queue or who can never wait in line for very long. 所以后面这个蓝色的部分基本上也是在解释前面这个 ill-tempered、impatient 这两个形容词，然后解释哦 ，that's because he is easily annoyed, and he's the person who can never wait for very long. 所以一样的去补充说明。然后呢 ，However, Karen is a very patient person and rarely loses her temper. 我用这个方式再去跟他做对比。所以 Albert and Karen are two different people. 是很不一样的。They are quite different. They are very different. 好，所以就可以知道一下哦，就是以在描述人的状况之下，除了我们把那个形容词讲出来之后，我们后面通常要再用一个句子或一个 phrases 或者一个关代 clauses 等等的哦，去补充说明为什么觉得它是这样的一个 feature, right? To elaborate with some more details. Okay. Then we can move on to the next one here. Also, there will be another one which is about how we can describe attitude towards people. Please also take a look at this one and see how the adjectives and how the words are used here to describe people, right? So please take a look. All right, so here probably we can also invite another person to read through the passage for us and we can take a look together. So probably let's have Jun Hao. Would you read this passage for us? Sally is a cheerful and pleasant girl. Jun Hao, are you there? No. How about Boan? Boan? Not with us. And then how about another person? Oh, we don't have a microphone. So sad. So I should ask you to record something for me next time. Then that's another person. That's then let's have Wolfrey. All right. So please read this passage for us. Oh, you can make it either. Then let's have Len Jie. Could you read this one for us? All right, so we can hear that.
Sally is a cheerful and pleasant girl. She always wears a smile on her face, showing her lovely dimples. She has long straight hair, and sometimes she ties her hair in a ponytail. She's talkative and energetic. As a friend, she is helpful, generous, and sympathetic. When I'm in trouble, she is always the first one to offer help. When I'm depressed, she listens to me and comforts me. She is a sensible girl who often knows the right thing to do. She is also a very sensitive person. She never hurts others' feelings. She is a reliable friend. I have great admiration for her.
All right, lovely. So let's take a look at this passage together. So as you can see here, I'll also cover the one for you. So, for example, here it says, Sally is a cheerful and pleasant girl. She always wears a smile on her face, showing her lovely dimples. 所以呢，这边一样，它是用 cheerful 跟 pleasant to describe the girl。那它为什么觉得它是 cheerful and pleasant？That's because she always wears a smile。所以就会再多一个句子去补充解释说明为什么 She is a cheerful and also pleasant person。所以大概就会再多一个句子。那你这样的话，其实你的作文也就会比较有一些 details。And also you can create this kind of image and try to make it more vivid. So she has long straight hair and sometimes she ties her hair in a ponytail. 那像如果只是简单的描述她那个 physical outlook，我们就是直接用一些形容词去描述就好了哦。那是因为这些特质、这些 features or these kind of characteristics sometimes are quite vague to some people. So even though probably you will use the specific words like cheerful, pleasant, optimistic, or pessimistic, but we don't know how this person is so pessimistic or why this person is quite pessimistic. And so in this case, we'll try to put one more sentence to elaborate why we think so. So in this case, like this one, she is talkative and energetic. And then as a friend, she is helpful, generous, and sympathetic. 接下来看到他说，作为一个朋友，他是 helpful, generous, and sympathetic。你会发现他把这三个形容人的形容词都放在一起。那其实他就是为了接下来要铺陈，接下来他讲的这个例子或讲的这个故事，就在说明说他为什么这么的 helpful， 为什么这么的 generous, and also why she is so sympathetic. So as you can see here, it says like, when I'm in trouble, she is always the first one to offer help. 所以去解释 helpful 这件事情。When I'm depressed, she listens to me and comforts me. 那去过头来去解释 generous 跟 sympathetic 这件事情。And she is a sensible girl. 那你也可以用像我刚刚提到，可以用这种关代的方式who often knows the right thing to do. 所以 who often knows the right thing to do 这句话就是补充说明为什么 she is a sensible girl. And then she is also very sensitive person. So that's why she never hurts others' feelings. 所以一样用后面这个 never hurts others' feelings to describe why we think this person is quite sensitive. And then in the end, she is a reliable friend. I have great admiration for her. 所以他最后他是以 reliable 这个字去做一个总结，他就是 overall she's a reliable friend。所以他就是用这个 reliable 去总结这个人，他就觉得他很可靠，因为 that's because she's very helpful, she's generous, and she's sympathetic, and also sensible and sensitive as well. And so I have great admiration for her, right? So these will be the ways you can try to elaborate the adjective you use to describe a person, especially when you're talking about the person's features or characteristics. 那如果只是 physical outlook 的话，就是它的单纯外表的话，就是用一些形容词，或者直接把那个外观描述出来就好了。所以你在描述人的话，记得要注意到这些特点，有一些人格特质的形容词，那我们通常就会去补充说明他做什么事情，或者他是怎么样的一个 in terms like his or her behavior， 或者是他有什么样的kind of story that make you think so, right？ 所以呢，这边大概是这个部分。All right, so probably we can stop here a little bit because for the next one we are going to talk about how we can describe data, especially for our writing practice as well. So probably we can stop at the part of how to describe a person here first, right? So please wait a second.